most of you are getting taught how to do the TH in a way that doesn't sound natural and it looks ridiculous. And most of the time, the thing that you guys are doing is you're sticking your tongue between the teeth. You're going. Native speakers don't do that. It looks crazy. It doesn't sound good. And it's probably dangerous too. I mean, if you're getting your tongue like, this, that, them, you might actually even bite the tip of your tongue off if you're not careful. So how do native speakers do it? You've got to change the shape of the energy of the voice coming through the body, the musicality. Everything is one stream of air. Okay? Everything in English is and we just use our articulators to change the shape of the air. So I can go A, I, O, U, right? Those are vowels. Or I can put my tongue behind the teeth so that the air goes down the sides and go the. And that's how the TH works for our ears. A lot of times, what you guys will do if you don't put your tongue all the way behind the teeth or outside of the teeth is you'll make really, really hard contact. You go da, 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 right? Because that's kind of similar to some of the consonants in your native language, right? You guys like to say D's, they, or I don't know, L's, lot, or nice, right? You guys are used to slamming your tongue against the teeth like that so that the energy can push off. They, lot, nice. We don't ever do that in American English. We don't ever do that. All we do is change the shape of one group of air. So our ears hear the difference between the neutral and when the tongue gets in the way. But notice my tongue's not coming out. Look, you can tell when my tongue gets behind the teeth because you see a little bit of pink space. Watch this. And that's it. That's all you have to do. It's way easier. It's way less work. You keep the sound of your voice inside the body. So you guys will probably have to get used to doing this in a way that is soft and trying to bring your voice forward and the tongue movement at the same time, right? So what I recommend is just starting the voice, pushing the voice forward, keeping it active, and then trying to slide just back and forth between a really soft TH and just a neutral right? What I call the core sound. So something like this. Watch how you see the dark space and then the pink space. As you see, I put my tongue in position and out. Watch. And what do you notice? Just like any other sound, the most prominent characteristic of the voice is down here. It's not here. It's not da 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 da. That's too hard. We don't follow mouth voices. We only follow body voices, right? So instead of da 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 da, it's just the where the air is coming down the sides, because when you put your tongue here, it blocks the air from coming down the middle. If you put your hands here and go, you can feel that air coming out of the sides because the tongue is getting in the way of this continuous group of air that's moving forward, and that creates the TH sound. So that's it. You're just doing the same thing that we did for all the other sounds. This time you just have to get used to a little bit different tongue position. But you know that if you're sticking your tongue out of the mouth, you look ridiculous, you sound ridiculous, and you might go to the hospital if you bite your tongue off. So let's go back and look at some examples here. Sorry, the sound was all messed up before, so we're going to do it again. We're going to do it again. All right. Okay, so this link is in the description right now. You guys, if you want to go there and follow along on your end, that's fine. Or you can just stay here with me. You can go back after the class and watch or go watch the video here and then do the practice. There we go. All right. So look at her sticking her tongue out. Says, don't do this. Don't do that. Don't stick your tongue out, like we just talked about. Okay, so look, how to make the TH, we just talked about this. Power the voice from inside the body. Softly place the tip of the tongue behind the teeth, not in between the teeth. Okay, so the other thing you need to know is that there's two types of TH, just like most sounds. Just like most sounds in English, there's two types. There's a voiced and a voiceless. Some people say unvoiced, right? Voiceless, unvoiced is the same thing. What does that mean? It means that voiced has vocal cord vibration, voiceless doesn't, but it's the same position for the tongue or the lips or the jaw, whatever sound. So the voiced TH here sounds like this. You hear the vibration? Right? You see my tongue position, same tongue position we just talked about. It's not, my tongue is not coming between my teeth. Look, you just see a tiny bit of pink space. You hear feel the vibration, and you feel the air going down the sides. The voiceless TH is the same thing, but there's no vibration. So it's like this. Same exact thing. All right, so let's look at some examples here. Make it a little bigger. Okay, if you notice for these voice sounds, most of them are these little words that you use almost every time you speak English, right? Look at this. Repeat them after me. Don't just stare at me. Repeat them after me. Listen to the shape of the energy. Look at how soft the tongue movement is. Control your tongue movement. Put all the focus on the vibration, the musicality going forward. Watch this. The, this, that, them, though. You hear I started my voice first, and then I started moving to the tongue position. I didn't go with the TH first. The, this, that, them, then, though. Right? It didn't have that the quality. It was the, this, that, them, though. Like that. The air going past. It's not about how much or how perfect the contact is. It's just about the shape of this energy changing. Right? Look at the next one. Mother. Did you even see my tongue? You have to look closely. Look. Mother. Just that little bit of pink space that you see right here. Mother. That's the tongue softly getting in the way of this musical energy that I'm pushing forward through the diaphragm. But you got to make sure you continue this all the way to the end. You can't do it part way and then try to finish the rest from here. Mother. It won't work. It's got to be mother. Right? Same thing. Father. Sometimes it helps to stretch it out. Make it long. Make the sound long. Look at this. Father. Right? What you're doing is you're training yourself to keep the energy moving forward. Next one. Brother. What do you notice? Each time I'm pronouncing these words, I'm not pronouncing what the letter says first. I'm not saying brother. I'm saying, bringing this energy up. You hear my voice here start before you even hear me pronounce anything that's written. Watch this. Brother. Like that. And just softly slide my tongue down the back of the teeth to get in the way of the shape of the air. Next one is other. Look at this. Please do not say tu. If you guys, I am not going to say tu. So when you repeat this, do not say tu. Okay? This next word right here. I know your eyes see tu. No native speaker says tu. Listen. T, What do you hear? You hear this. T. Together. You see that? Together. And how did I do that? The energy was continuing to move forward It would not be possible for me to say the word that way if the main characteristic or identity wasn't just full stream of energy moving forward. Together. That's what our ears are focused on. Our ears want to hear this stream of energy moving forward. Your guys' ears care about what's happening in the mouth. That's what all my students focus on the most. What is happening with the mouth? Because how can I tell? Because that's the way you guys pronounce it, right? Most of you will get into my class, you say together, 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 together. So that means that the together are the most important for your ears. And that's what I mean by listening like a beginner versus listening like a pro. A pro listens like a native speaker and follows this stream of energy right here, moving forward and the changing of the shape. Listen to this. Listen moving forward. Together. You hear that? Together. Together. That. Moving forward, this is just a different shape, but it's not creating the identity of the sound. All right, last ones. Breathe and breathing. Okay, so those are voiced. You heard the vibration. Our ears follow vibration. This vibration the whole way through. If you want to listen like a pro, you should be listening like that too. All right, now let's look at the voiceless. Voiceless TH. Remember, it's the same sound, it's just not with the vocal cord vibration activated. Look at this. I can't start out by saying think, 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 think. I have to bring the energy up first with musicality and keep the energy moving forward. Look at this. Think, think, think. You try it. Okay, start the engine of your voice. Get that music happening. This is where the listener is paying attention to, not here, right? Listen. Thought. You hear that? All just one group of energy getting changed by the tongue position. Thought. I hope you guys are repeating these after me. Don't just stare at me. 3. 30. Right? I'm not saying 30, 30, 30, 30. It's not about strong contact against the teeth. It's about the soft contact changing the shape of this sound that keeps moving forward. 30,000. Month. What are you guys listening to? Are you listening here or are you listening here? You better be listening here. Look at this one. You hear the energy starting before I even start pronouncing the word. It's right here. Birthday. Birthday. That tongue just slid up softly just to change the shape of the air. Health. Right? It's not health. Health. Don't stick your tongue out. Look at this. I'm not touching my teeth for the L either. I'm not saying length, length, length. Look at that. I'm saying my tongue's way up here. Length. Repeat them after me, guys. Worth. Tooth. Truth. Imitating this, not this. Any is this truth? Breath, bath, and death. So that's how the TH works. It's not about how much or how strong or how perfect you position your tongue. It's just about how consistent your stream of musical energy and flow of voice is moving forward, so you can slide the tongue just in the way and change the shape so it doesn't come down the middle, it comes down the sides. So let me know if you guys have questions so far, or if there's any TH words you want me to pronounce for you. Also, let me know where you're watching from, what country you in. Where you guys at? I'm interested. What's your native language? Some of you might not be in your home countries. All right, let's check out Useful practice sentences. These are more like tongue twisters, man. These are more like tongue twisters. All right. All right, so if you guys can pronounce these, then you know you have officially leveled up your English. All right, so look, I'm gonna say it. Don't focus on every letter. When you're listening, when you're practicing, if you're focusing on listening letter by letter, you're listening like a beginner and you're just digging yourself into a deeper hole. Follow the vibration and the musicality the whole way through. Listen, I'm going to show you this sound moving forward all the way through the sentence. Don't stare at the words. Just try to imitate what you're hearing right here. Look at this. There's their brother together with their father. There's their brother together with their father. You try it. One more time. Faster. There's their brother together with their father. There's their brother together with their father. You guys notice my tongue didn't, they're coming out of my tongue. Look, there's their brother together with their father. Staying behind the teeth. Energy is moving forward the whole time. Next one. Their brother's birthday's this Thursday. Their brother's birthday's this Thursday. Are you listening here? This isn't where I'm creating the sounds. This is my voice. This is the sounds. Listen again. Their brother's birthday's this Thursday. You say it. Their brother's birthday's this Thursday. All right. Last one. How much is it worth? It's worth $30,000. Listen to the energy moving forward. This is the key for everything. How much is it worth? It's worth $30,000. You try it. One more time, faster. How much is it worth? It's worth $30,000. All right, so you guys can go back and practice that. I'm not going to read all these, but there's more. But what I do want to do is numbers. This is fun. This is fun. All right, we're going from 3 to 3. What are we going to? 3 trillion. All right. Make sure you guys can see this. I'm going to let you repeat them after me. But you have to make sure you're not focused on perfect TH. You're focused on perfect flow and stream of energy coming through from the body. Oops. All right. Here we go. 3. 33. 333. 3,333. 33,333. 333,333. 3,333,333. 33,333,333. 333,333,333. 3,333,333,333. Last one. 333,333,333,333,333 I added the cents just for fun. All right, so hopefully you guys make enough money that you have to count numbers this big one day, eventually. And if you want me to go higher than this, you have to send it in to my PayPal. If you want me to go higher than this. Let me know if you got where you guys are watching from. What country are you in, or what's your native language? All right, so if you guys want me to check your TH sound or any other parts of your accent, all right, we talked about a lot of things: energy coming from the body, musicality, things like that. Book the quick accent check. It's a live 15-minute call. I'll listen to you. You'll be surprised how much I can actually pick up just by listening to you for a couple minutes and let you know what is blocking you from hearing the language like a native speaker and also practicing like a native speaker. So the link's right there. And if you want more practice materials, I highly recommend going to Rachel's English. She has the most complete course. It's the biggest course. She has the biggest online community. Thousands of people there practicing American pronunciation together. You can watch videos, interact with other people, get feedback from teachers. And if you use the coupon code JOSH10, you get 10% off for life. All right. Any questions so far before we move on? We're going to go to phrase chunks. Phrase chunks. You guys drop where you are. Where are you? Where are you watching from? Is it morning or night where you guys are? All right, phrase chunks. This is the most important part of the class, of the whole live. This is how you're actually going to level up your English. You're not going to level up your English by learning grammar. It doesn't matter how many rules you know about grammar. What you need to know is how to pronounce the phrases you're going to say the most so that you can start to build a collection of phrases you can use whenever you need to and be able to pronounce them in a way that's easy for the listener to understand. So today we're talking about don't know. Okay, I'm sure most of you say don't know, don't know, don't know. That is not going to be an effective way to pronounce it. So how are we going to pronounce it? First of all, we're not going to focus on the consonant sounds. We're going to focus on the resonance, the energy, the vibration, the forward movement of this vibration, and then some vowel sounds when we need to have some stress. So it doesn't matter why, but when native speakers pronounce this, I'm saying it doesn't matter why, because yes, I could teach you the rules. I'll teach you rules about stop T's, silent T's later. But when native speakers pronounce this in a natural way, they don't pronounce the T. They just say, don't know. Listen closely. Don't know. What do you hear the most? You hear the energy moving forward. Don't know. Don't know. Don't know. Okay, so you're going to say this a lot. Maybe not every day, but almost every day if you speak English. So if you're using the affirmative, right? We're not going to make any, I mean, we could, but it's not common to make these pronouns an important part. So we're going to make them small. We're just going to say I. You hear this? It's not in the mouth. It's down here. I don't. See, I didn't say I don't. I used my musicality, sung my voice past with the vibration. I don't know. I don't know. Repeat this. Imitate what you hear right here. I don't know. I don't know. So you can add whatever you want. What are you going to say? I don't know where it is. But if you start out like this, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be a lot easier for a native speaker to understand the rest. But if you start out with I don't know, 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 they're going to be already struggling to understand you. So repeat after me. I don't know where it is. You hear that pitch go up? I don't know where it is. You can play around with it. You can say, I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is. But I'm not saying I don't know. I don't know. I'm saying I don't know where it is. Listen to the pitch, the sliding. I don't know where it is. Or we don't know. Listen to the sounds. Don't stare at the words. Listen and repeat what you hear down here. We don't know. We don't know where it is. You could change. You could say we don't know where it is. Right? It exists. It's not as common. Right? We don't know where it is. Or they don't know. They don't know. Listen to the musicality. This is all you have to pay attention to. Don't listen to every letter. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know where it is. You hear the music? Every time the pitch goes up, you hear me increase the musicality by 10, 20, 30%. Listen to how much more musicality I get to go up. They don't know where it is. She doesn't know. She doesn't know. She doesn't know. Or he doesn't know. Repeat it. He doesn't know. He doesn't know where it is. Right? But if you know how to say this, you can change where it is for anything. You say I don't know where to find it. I don't know where to get it. I don't know where to put it. I don't know where to look. Right? There's so many different ways you can use this. So you should be having this near perfection, just after practicing it for a week, but focusing on what you actually hear. Don't know, don't know. Then if you're going to use it as a question, right? Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? I'm not saying do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Right? I'm saying do you know? So I'll just blend it one sound. Don't try to pick out each word individually. Just listen to how it's one blended sound, like we were just talking about with the TH, is changing the shape of one sound coming up. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know where it is? Right? You can't hear where each word starts or stops. Do you know where it is? I'm not saying do you know where it is? Where it is? I'm not pronouncing every consonant. Don't guide the listener through with consonants. Guide the listener through with the musicality, the singing, and the pitch. Do you know where it is? Do you know where it is? Next one. Do they know? Do they know? Let's say where to go. Where to go? Do they know where to go? You see, I put a lot of attention on go. This is also a yes or no question. So the pitch has to rise up to signal that the speaker is expecting a yes or no answer. But even so, right, the most important parts are no and go. Everything else, well, where has a little bit as well. But listen to how it sounds. Do they know where to go? Not saying do they know where to go. Not saying every letter, every word. It's one sliding sound. Do they know where to go? Or does she? Does she? Listen to how I'm pronouncing this. Does. I'm not saying das. That's how your ears imagine that it sounds. No native speaker will ever say it like that. No das. Does. And what do you notice? It's the energy moving forward, moving past. That's what my ears focus on. Does she? Does he? Does he? I'll say does he? Does he? Does he? Does he? Does he? Does she? Does she? Does he know where to go? You try it. Does he know where to go? All right, so those are your phrase chunks. I mean, this is the best way. This is how I learned Spanish. I mean, I ended up taking some classes. I mean, after several years of already living in a Spanish-speaking country, I already figured out how to say so many things that I was already making a lot of progress in becoming conversational, being able to ask for what I needed, tell people what I wanted, just because I knew how to pronounce those things that that explained what I was trying to say in a way that they could easily understand. All right, so let me know if there's questions about this. or if there's any word or phrase you want me to break down real quick before we move into the accent analysis. The fun part. This is where I have the most fun. Accent analysis. Guys, drop in the chat or in the comments where you're watching from. If you want me to break down your accent, your pronunciation in a video, you can scan that QR code, upload your video. Any guesses who we'll be analyzing today? I'll give you a hint. It's German. German accent. German accent, really powerful woman. I don't know how to say her name, though. I'm assuming it's Ursula von der Le... I don't know how to pronounce these words in German. Leyen. I don't know. She's, what is she, like the president of the EU or something? Like, what? I forgot what her job is. Let's research. European Commission Europea. Is that the same as the European Union? European Union, yeah. Oh, it's the political, executive, and main law-making body of the European Union. So she's part of the European Union. Okay. What else can we find out about her? She's a German politician and physician. She's a doctor. She served as president of the European Commission since 2019. So you guys can see this a little better. Background, early life. What does she do? She was born in 58. She is old. She's an old boomer. She got a medical degree in 91. She's the daughter of Ernst Albrecht, a prominent civil. Who cares? All right, whatever. So she's just a highly educated international politician with a medical background. All right. Well, let's make sure that you guys are going to hear this before I start. I think so. Should be good. And let's make ourselves a little bigger. And let's jump into the accent analysis. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is really moments in history. Under your international...
All right, here we go.
President Brende, dear Volker, thank you very much for the warm welcome. Your Majesties...
Y'all. Right, she's not pronouncing R sounds. I don't know, is that typical for German accent? Y'all Majesty or your, right? That y'all that she's saying is a lot more mouth. Y'all. Your, right? Resonance, vibration.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, indeed, it is now 56 years since the first meeting here in Davos.
I mean, that's easy here just to pick out the word meeting, right? I mean, you guys think that turning that T, meeting, to a flat T, you guys think that just makes you sound American, but actually that tells us that it's unstressed. If you watch the first live I did, that's what I explained. It sends a signal to the native speaker that it's also an unstressed syllable. It's not just that it sounds American or it's the way that it sounds cool to our ears. It means unstressed. So, right, because there's vibration on both sides of the T, and E and ing, it's unstressed, we'll say meeting.
Indeed, it is now 56 years since the first meeting here in Davos. And the idea of the founder, Klaus Schwab.
Klaus Schwab. Isn't Klaus Schwab is the guy that... These guys are the people that made the commercials that said that we're going to own everything and love it or something like that.
Was to create a platform.
All right, look at how much she loves the T sound. Was to create the... was to create the, right?
And the idea of the founder, Klaus Schwab, was to create a...
Was like, so this has got to be a content or a function word. She should say was the idea, was the not was the right? All this low low energy function word continuing vibration was the sort of was ta, right? All those T's slamming in a native speaker's ears is not clear. It's getting in the way of the part that we're looking to hear it for.
Platform to discuss the issues and the ideas.
Listen, to discuss the issues and the ideas. To discuss the issues and the ideas. She's carrying us through the conversation with consonants. So to discuss the issues and ideas, right? I was talking about this energy right here. This is where the sound comes from. This is where the voice is. She's up here. To discuss the issues and the ideas, or to discuss the issues and ideas. So, I mean, just like most of the other analysis we've done, it seems like this is what her thing is going to be about as well.
Effects. It inadvertently created the conditions for what would become a truly global...
Yeah, it's just hard to listen. Like, created the conditions for what would become... created the conditions for what would become... Just all mouth. Everything here. Her ears love consonants, ours didn't, right? I would say created the conditions for what would become. Created the conditions for what would become. She's really pronouncing, like, clearly. I mean, I'm sure this is like her presentation voice, but she's giving very clear pronunciation to each syllable as well, which obviously also doesn't make it easier for an American listener to understand.
It is neither new nor reaction to recent events.
To recent events. So look, there's two opportunities for a schwa and to an event, right? But she's not using either of them. Listen.
And this need is neither new nor reaction to recent events.
To recent e. Instead of to recent events, right? Listen, to recent events. That would make it easier because it's more obvious which one's stressed and unstressed. If you say to recent events, it's really hard to pick out in the moment where the stress is and where it's not.
So my point is, if this change is permanent, then Europe must change permanently too. It is time to seize this opportunity and build...
Oppa. This is one of you guys' favorite sounds here. Oh. Doesn't exist in American English. We say ah. I can't see her. Camera angle so far away. She said opportunity. We say opportunity. Let's see how she pronounces the rest of the word.
It is time to seize this opportunity and...
Yeah, opportunity. So this, anytime you have these IT, I just talked about this in the I think was it yesterday I did a live. Anytime you have ITY, like she's stressing the correct syllable, right? ITY, the syllable before is the primary stress, but then because the T that comes after is unstressed, you should keep the vibration and make it vibrate into a flat T. So she said opportunity instead of oppor. You hear the difference between o and a? Opportunity. And that way it's a lot more obvious which parts are stressed.
And with it, the European Union and Latin America have created the largest free trade zone in the world, a market worth over 20% of global GDP.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, some people would say it, but I mean, most people would take out the T in 20. We usually don't pronounce that. She said 20. I mean, she's saying strong T's in every word, so it's not a surprise. But you guys can, it sounds even easier to understand if you don't pronounce the second T in 20. You just say 20 instead of 20 like that.
Over tariffs, partnership over isolation.
Isolation. You hear that stress?
Over tariffs, partnership over isolation.
Isolation instead of isolation, right? So she's coming in really big This word is 4 syllables. So there's 2 that are higher, 2 that are low. There's a primary and secondary stress. So lay is the primary stress, I is the secondary. But she's making that secondary stress so big, it's hard to really tell that it's secondary. It sounds primary.
Over tariffs, partnership over isolation.
Isolation instead of isolation, right? Listen, isolation like that.
And right after Davos.
All right, here it would be best to use a flap T to link. Right here, where she says right after.
And right after Davos.
And she will actually look at how she says ah. Look at her ah vowel.
And right after Davos.
And right after. Right, see how small it is? It's hard to tell that it's stressed like that. You know, you guys, you got to get space for your stressed syllables. But also because right is not stressed that T, right? Keep the vibration going. Use consonant to vowel linking and move the flap T over. Say dafter is how it's going to sound. You guys try it. Dafter. So we'll say right after. Instead of hers, it's right after. Right? We'll say right after. It's so much easier to find the contrast there when you use space, when you use a flap T.
One that would create a market of 2 billion people, accounting for almost a quarter of global GDP.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know what accent she's going to do, but again, here we would say quarter. Unstressed T, she's saying quarter of. Just the more times you put that true T in a place where it's unstressed, you're sending a signal to an American person that is just, they have to filter through instead of just absorb naturally.
And ladies and gentlemen,
look at how her mouth doesn't move though when she speaks. She doesn't move her mouth at all. Look at this. Look how she says lady. Look at me, ladies and gentlemen. Look how she says it.
And ladies and gentlemen.
Right? So that right there makes it hard to understand because you can't pick out the stress, right? This space, this is something you guys, no matter how many times I tell a student, it's always hard for students to really grasp the idea of how important space is for our ears, right? So if I say ladies and gentlemen, it does not hit my ears the same as ladies and gentlemen. Lay-jet. You've got to create more attention on the stressed syllables by creating space.
We live in an age where capital and data can cross Europe. We live in an age where...
Living in age. That was good. Look, she did some nice linking there. Listen how she links. Live in an age. She does some nice consonants. She says live in an age. This is good. Good job, Ursula.
We live in an age. Where...
We live in an age. All right. Go ahead, Ursula. I don't know if that's how you really say her name.
The market is of 450 million Europeans open to them. It is far more complicated in reality.
All right, look at this. It'd be way easier if she could just get a little bit of space in far and calm. Look at her mouth movement here.
It is far more complicated.
Far more complicated. This is actually the same vowel, right? So remember, there's 2 versions of every vowel. So even if she is technically pronouncing the vowel correctly, because it's so small, she's pronouncing it so it sounds unstressed. Because the unstressed version of the vowel is smaller than the stressed version. So, that's something to be aware of, is you can have perfect mouth position for vowels, but if you're not sending them in the right format, it doesn't really matter.
We will soon put forward our 28th regime.
Our, right? That is the one you guys definitely want to stay away from. You guys can make this change right away. Never pronounce O-U-R, our, or our. You should make it a reduction unless you're trying to highlight it. Listen how she says, put forward our.
We will soon put forward our 28th.
Put forward our. Put forward our. Listen to how I say it. Put forward our. Forward our. Dar. It's a reduction. It's a function word. It's supposed to be small. It's not supposed to be pronounced clearly. If you pronounce those small grammar words, too clearly, then the signal gets mixed up.
Our entrepreneurs, the innovative companies will...
Whoa, ho, ho. What kind of companies, Ursula? What kind of companies? Can you guys tell what word she's saying here? She says, I mean, entrepreneurs, people can pronounce that all sorts of different ways, whatever. She says, our entrepreneurs, the companies. Can you guys guess in the chat, what word is she trying to say?
Our entrepreneurs, the innovative companies.
The innovative? I'm going to pause here. Can you guys in the chat tell me what word you think she's trying to pronounce? You want to hear it again?
Our entrepreneurs, the innovative companies.
Innovative? Innovative, Ursula. All right. You guys don't have any guesses? She's trying to pronounce innovative. She says innovative. Wow. My mind is blown. So she's saying innovative. We're saying innovative, innovative, innovative. Like that. Woo, that was good.
And ultimately, we need a system where the companies can do business and raise financing seamlessly across Europe.
She just needs more also. I mean, here she's not pronouncing things wrong, but the distance between her contrast is so small that it's not to the comfort level or familiar to what an American listener is used to. Listen to the way she has some up and down in pitch and contrast, but it's not that much.
And ultimately, we need a system where the companies can do business and raise financing.
Listen to this. We need a system where the companies can do business and raise financing. We need a system where the companies can do business and raise financing. That is not a lot of contrast. When I say it, we need a system where the companies can do business and raise financing. Right? I have so much contrast in the length. The pitch is so different. And that's just the way that we listen to the language. So if you pronounce it like her, you're forcing us to work harder to hear what you're saying.
Which brings me to the second focus.
I wish she would use the schwa here and stop saying to. I mean, it was just all T, like brings me to. Listen to her.
Which brings me to the second.
Brings me to the second. Brings me to the second. Right? That is not easy for Americans' ear. Especially because like this is surrounded by vibration. She could throw a flap T in here. She could say brings me to the listen to the music here. Brings me to the how does she pronounce second?
Which brings me to the second focus.
Okay, she didn't know how to pronounce the unstressed syllables, so give her props for that.
This will help ensure that capital flows.
I knew she was gonna say that. Capital.
Europe needs an energy blueprint that pulls together all the parts.
I mean, okay, here's another reduction. She's saying and. Look how much attention she puts on the word an.
Europe needs an energy blueprint.
Oh, hey, wait, sorry, I heard it wrong. Listen again.
Europe needs an energy.
Okay, I apologize, Ursula. She did make a reduction. Listen, she says Europe needs zin. She didn't say zan.
Europe needs an energy blueprint.
All right, but then when she says energy, you see how she breaks up every energy. You can hear her voice start, stop, energy instead of energy. That's one of the most important things for our ears is to hear the energy moving forward. I just said the word. To never hear start, stop. That's so distracting for our ears because we start and stop to change the idea or the topic. Or if we really want some energy to really make it sink in. But if you're just doing that regular, it's really hard on the ears to keep. It sounds like you're changing the ideas. That's how we keep all our thought groups connected is the best way to explain it.
Europe needs an energy blueprint.
An energy blueprint or an energy blueprint like that.
Resilient and cheaper energy.
Cheaper? Did you say sheep or cheap?
Resilient and cheaper energy.
Sheep.
Resilient and cheaper energy.
Okay. And I don't know. She doesn't really seem to pronounce R sounds, but I would connect that cheaper energy. Renergy, like consonant to vowel linking. I would say cheaper energy.
Will drive our economic growth.
Okay. Drive our. She needs to stop saying our. I mean, English is whichever. It doesn't matter which accent you use in English. Like, the word OUR is not a word that you pronounce clearly unless you're really exaggerating, like drive our economic growth. But she's not saying it like that, so she should just say drive our economic growth.
Resilient and cheaper energy will drive our economic growth.
Drive our economic growth. Drive our economic growth, like that.
Our companies are taking.
What's up, chat, guys? How's it going? Let me know what country you guys watching from.
Up AI at the same pace as their US peers.
Same pace.
Our companies are taking up AI at the same pace as their
pace. So now she, spent a lot of time talking about how she's not using vibration. Now she's adding vibration. So it sounds like she's saying like PAYS, like pays, like I don't know, crime pays or whatever. But she's trying to say pace.
We have started a surge in defense spending up to 800.
Oh, do you hear that? You hear that placement? Listen how she says up.
We have started a surge in defense spending.
She had some music, a little bit. I wouldn't say it's like American musicality, but here she's using a singing voice. She's like, we have started a surge in defense spending, right? There's a little, you can hear some melody to that, right?
We have started a surge in defense spending.
There's some up and down. It's all connected. But then listen when she says the word up, right? She totally takes it away from the body, and she just creates this like kind of burst of energy, this kind of pinched sound in the mouth. Listen to how she says up.
Up to 8.
Up to. So that right there does not even register in an American listener's ear as a human voice. Like it sounds like she's making a noise, and in the context we could put it together. But if she just comes up and says up to, you might ask her like, do you need a tissue? Like, are you okay? It's just not how our ears listen to the language. It's got to be up to, right? And not to, right? Up to. It's not to, it's to. Listen, everything is here. Up to. She said up to. Said up to like that.
They are working on AI-powered software and systems for battlefield intelligence.
See how strong that B was? She just ate up the whole vowel sound with a perfect B.
They are working on AI-powered software and systems for battlefield.
Even the way, look, first, all right. Look how she says software. Look at her mouth movement. Look how she's like software, right? So it just doesn't even register as stressed.
They are working on AI-powered software.
Software. I say like this, software. And then now listen to how, and when she says battlefield, the part that stands out the most is the B, because she just puts all the attention and energy on this perfect B sound.
Systems for battlefield intelligence.
For battlefield. Right? Our ears do not process consonants. So instead of battlefield, it would sound clear if she said battlefield. You hear how much attention I put on that? Battlefield, like that.
This now only shows how economy and national security are more linked than ever. She could have linked that. She could. Well, that sentence wasn't more linked than ever, right? I mean, she could link the than and ever, and she probably make a reduction linked than ever. Right? Let's listen again. This now only shows how economy and national security are more linked than ever. More linked than ever. Or more linked than ever. More linked than never, right? Make than a reduction. Don't make it important. And move the N over the never, like that. That was funny. We recognize President Trump's role in pushing the peace.
Yeah, you see how she says roll? Look at this. Look at how small it is.
We recognize President Trump's role in pushing.
President Trump's role. Look at me. President Trump's role. Look at right here. Look how much space that highlights it. It amplifies President Trump's role. Oh, so even if you can't see openness here, it's happening here and it's making the sound bigger.
And in parallel, we decided to permanently.
Oh, I'm so tired of her saying to. You guys, don't say to every time. I mean, if you say it once in a while, it's fine. But just say decided to. If you say decided to, it's just being understood by context, not by the actual sound.
Europe will always stand with Ukraine until there is a just and lasting peace.
Oh, she got it. I was wondering if she's gonna say piss or peace. She nailed it. Good job, Ursula. Good job. Very good. How do you say very good in German?
For instance, our EU member, Finland.
Finland. Do you see how strong the F is? Finland. Instead of Finland. Right? The pitch is the most important part. Finland, like that. What was he talking about? Greenland? Sound like just complaining about Trump the whole speech, I think.
Ladies and gentlemen, we consider the people of the United States.
Listen to how her P here. Listen to how strong the P is. Like she's robbing away the identity of the most important part of the vowel just to have a perfect P in people.
Ladies and gentlemen, we consider the people of the United States.
Okay, even here, consider. This should be a reduction. This is a syllabic consonant. So she said consider instead of consider. You hear I didn't pronounce the vowel. I just said consider, right? Listen again.
Ladies and gentlemen, we consider the people.
We consider just vibration. That's all it is. Consider. I know we're listening to people.
Ladies and gentlemen, we consider the people of the United
States. The people, right? You don't want to just make perfect consonants, Ursula.
To support Arctic security. First principle, full solidarity with Greenland and the Kingdom of Denmark, the sovereignty and integrity of their territory.
The what? Okay, here's another one. Here's another one that I wouldn't recognize. I don't think, I'm looking at this, the transcript right here. I don't think if I wasn't looking at it, I would understand. Look, she says, the Kingdom of Denmark, the and integrity. What is the word that she says? The what? The Can you guys figure out what she's saying?
Greenland and the Kingdom of Denmark, the sovereignty and...
The sovereignty? Sovereignty for 500. Anybody know what sovereignty means? All right. So I'm assuming that this is probably a word that is very similar in German, and that's probably why she's saying it like that. But in American English, we say sovereignty. Sovereignty. She's saying sovereignty. We're saying sovereignty like that.
In particular, I believe we should use our defense spending surge.
She could use a schwa. I mean, I like how she made should. She made that short, and she said we should. She didn't say we should. Right, but then when she says defense, she should use a schwa instead of de.
In particular, I believe we should use our defense spending.
Our defense, or use our defense. Use our de. And that way it's obvious it's unstressed. When you come in and say defense, when you say D, it's not obvious if it's stressed or unstressed.
And this is why Europe is preparing its own security.
Same thing here, preparing or preparing, right? Use a schwa. It just makes it easier for the listener to know where we're going after, right? If you say prepare, it's not obvious if it's stressed or unstressed. But if you say prepare, then it's obvious. All right, we're just going to do a couple more here. It's been long.
But in many ways, it feeds into the wider point I started with today.
No R sound.
Europe must speed up its push for independence.
I like how she gets into those E's.
Change permanently, and we need to change with it.
And we need to change to. Stop saying to, please, Ursula. All right, one more. Oh, she's done. She's done. All right. So that was it. That was accent analysis of Ursula von der Leyen. I don't know how to pronounce her name. So, I think she probably doesn't have the strongest German accent, but she does have less contrast than most American ears would be comfortable with. She's really likes pronouncing the consonant sounds stronger than the vowels. And she really doesn't do a lot to make her unstressed syllables obviously unstressed. So, guys, if there is a person that you want me to do an accent analysis on, you can drop the link in the chat or in the comments if you're watching the replay. And if you want me to analyze your accent, then you can scan the QR code and upload the video, and I'll analyze it on a live chat or a live stream. Don't forget, guys, if you want more practice materials, go to Rachel's English. It's the biggest, best, most interactive community online for American pronunciation training. Use the coupon code Josh10 for 10% off. So, guys, thanks for joining me here. I hope you guys have a good rest of your Saturday or Sunday if you guys are on the other side of the world. And now that you know how to pronounce this TH sound, you can start training it, and you just boosted up your